The number is staggering. How many construction workers are killed each year in work zone accidents, and how many other workers are killed along the side of the road in emergency situations. The laws have to change. The penalties are way too easy. If you get caught speeding in a work zone and you are convicted, your charge should be attempted vehicular manslaughter. If you actually cause an accident and somebody dies in there, your penalty should be second-degree murder, not vehicular manslaughter, second-degree murder. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, just about, one of my pet peeves, and that's construction zone speeding and not moving over for people on the side of the road. It's out of hand, and it actually sparked me to do this. There was near my house, I live in Pennsylvania, and in York, Pennsylvania, I believe it was just last week, there was 3 workers killed at 3 a.m. in a construction zone. And now we don't actually know the cause of the accident. We do know that they were hit by a box truck, and it was a rider truck. So I don't know if it was a rental. I don't know the details. It doesn't matter. That sparked me to actually want to do this video a little bit worse. Basically because it scared the hell out of me and a whole bunch of my friends, because we have a good friend that works in road construction. He actually works for PennDOT, and he's in management now, but he does still get out on the road. He's been doing it for 31 years, but he still has an area that he ends up on the, in the construction zones, and it scared us. And then we heard what time of day it happened. We knew it was during his working hours, but it really made me think some more. And the penalties are just not enough. Fines doubled in work zone. Fines doubled in the work zone. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? Yeah, you pay the fine and you move on, and the penalty should be much more serious. And I know, you just saw my beginning there, and you're probably thinking, man, Rob, that's really drastic. I don't think it is. Well, actually, I do think it is, but I think it needs to be drastic. Changes need to be made. So let's go over some statistics here, to back up some of this. I don't have any numbers from 2023. This is from 2021 and 2022, but this is from the one of the organizations. I forget which one, but in 2021 there was 963 work zone fatalities. This does not mean construction workers. This means fatalities in work zones in the United States, but construction workers are a huge part of it. So 963 work zone fatalities, 23% of those, or 206, involved a rear end collision. 33% of them involved a CMV, commercial motor vehicle. That's 294 of them a commercial vehicle was involved in. And speeding was a factor in 281 of them, or 32%. 2022 wasn't much better, or a little bit less fatalities, but 2022 there was 891 work zone fatalities. 174, or 21% of them, involved rear end collisions. 246 of them involved a commercial motor vehicle, or 30%, and 281 of them, or 34%, involved speeding. Now, I'm sure if I tried real hard, I probably could have found the 2023 numbers, but looking back even farther than this, it doesn't seem to matter. The numbers seem to stay about the same, and that's what needs to change. And quite frankly, when lives are involved, I believe it means there should be stiffer penalties. So some of you may be thinking, Rob, why do you think it's murder or, attempted vehicular homicide? Well, it's not what I think. It's actually how the law is written. And I went over this. So let's compare first-degree manslaughter to vehicular manslaughter. First-degree manslaughter is you're found guilty when he or she recklessly caused the death of another person. Sentence of up to life in prison. Here's what vehicular manslaughter is a crime that involves the death of another person as a result of a criminally negligent or murderous operation of a motor vehicle. Sentence of 3 years to 14 years in prison. It's the same thing. They both say the same thing, but for some reason, if you're in a vehicle, it's not considered as bad. But somebody still died, so to me, it's just as bad. Now, let's start adding things like DUI and some other things to it, and I believe it should actually be bumped up to second-degree murder. Here is what second-degree murder is. Any type of unlawful killing that is done with malice, but without premeditation. Sentence in most states is 25 to life. Obviously, that would be the more extreme of the recklessness and you know, maybe impairment and stuff, but I think that fits. Personally, I think the vehicular manslaughter law shouldn't even be there. If you did that with your vehicle, if you killed somebody with your vehicle while driving recklessly or speeding is driving recklessly if you're in a construction zone. Now, if you're convicted,
video protected.
Thank you. Anyway, if you're convicted of speeding, instead of that double fine, maybe you should get attempted vehicular homicide. And that quite simply says, driving in a way that puts others' lives at risk. Speeding in a work zone is attempted vehicular homicide. I know everybody thinks, well, I speed in the construction zone sometimes, and that doesn't mean that I'm a, potential attempted vehicular homicide guy. But you are. I mean, that's the law, and that's what it says. And although people don't get charged that way much, you could be charged that way. And I think they should start charging people that way. Maybe that death toll number would go down. Now let's talk about roadside emergencies. So let's talk about roadside emergencies, or somebody pulled over alongside the road. You see a police officer alongside the road with his lights on. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if that's a speeding ticket. You don't know if they just pulled up behind somebody, that was broken down, and they're trying to help. You don't know. Police officers, tow trucks, and pretty much anybody that's along the side of the road probably doesn't want to be there. And the fact that you're in a little bit of a hurry, is not their concern. It's just ridiculous how many people do not move over. If you see somebody on the side of the road, move to the left. If you are in the left lane and you see a truck, a car, anybody that's in the right lane, slow down so that they can move over. It's not going to take all that much time. I just don't understand that I gotta keep going. Now let me explain what's going to happen if I'm in the right lane and I'm coming up on somebody and I can't get over to the left, and you're the one blocking me. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to move as far as I can in my lane legally. I'm going to move over as far as I can, and I'm going to slow down. So as I'm slowing down, though, I'm coming up on this vehicle. Now, if something, let's say the worst thing happens, let's say the person comes around in front of the vehicle and trips and falls into the roadway in front of me. Guess which way my wheel's going to turn? It's coming at you. It's not going at him. Now, Rob, why are you threatening people? I'm not threatening people. You have to think. If you're in that situation, do you want to, and now you're in a bad situation where you're faced with, something bad's going to happen here. I'm turning left and hitting the car or the truck because that person has a much better chance of surviving than the person who just fell in the road in front of me. And it's just a fact. And it all could have been, the worst happens, the person falls in front of you. It all could have been avoided if you had just slowed down to let me over. I always slow down to let people over. Sometimes, I'm in a hurry and I'm thinking, oh, stay. I'm like, wait a second, that's ridiculous. I could spare, 10 seconds or 30 seconds. So, quite frankly, I had to stop filming because I had a truck backing in next to me. I had a backup alarm. I'm sure you heard it. But anyway, quite frankly, so when somebody is alongside the road in an emergency situation, treat that as a construction zone also and move over. In construction zones, when it says trucks use left lane only, Pennsylvania is pretty big on this, especially the Turnpike. There's some construction zones. Well marked, trucks left lane only. Get in the left lane and do the speed limit it says. They're not doing it to show that they have this control over you and they can make you get in the lane. They're doing it because that's the better lane for trucks. It's not, they're not being mean. It's just that's the better lane for trucks. Get in the left lane and you'll probably find you know, it's smoother, it's you know, less tight areas, you know, things like that. But now you're in a hurry. All right, so speed limit's 55, you're going through there. Regular speed limit 65 or 70. All right, so you're in the left lane, you're coming up on me, I'm doing 55, and you want to do 60. So you get over in that right lane. Now you are breaking the law. Attempted vehicular manslaughter. Extreme? Yes. Like I said, it needs to be extreme now. Okay? And when you actually do math, 70 miles an hour over 55 miles an hour will save you 15 minutes if you can keep that speed. 15 minutes if you do it for a whole hour. Construction zones, or you know, even long ones, are usually what, maybe 10-15 miles. You're not going to make up all that time, and you are risking people's lives. Just stop doing it. Well, everybody, I just wanted to be pretty blunt with this video, and I feel like too many people aren't thinking about the consequences when they're in construction zones, or they see somebody alongside the road. Always picture the worst. Picture that person alongside the road, you know, coming around the truck and falling, accidentally falling right in the roadway in front of you as you're driving down the road. If that isn't good enough for you, imagine that person is your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad, your son, your daughter, whatever it takes, and I bet you won't feel that you're in such a hurry anymore. There's just too many people dying every year in construction zone accidents and roadside accidents that do not need to happen. But anyway, guys, let me show you a mean truck driver here. This car hauler backed in beside me, and look, he has 4 Gladiators, 4 Gladiators, and 3 Rams on there. I got nothing on my trailer, and that guy won't give me one. Rude. Actually, I talked to him for a bit. He's a pretty nice guy. I was asking about the food here at Chasers, and food's great. I'm in Effingham, Illinois at Chasers, and yeah, great food, great food. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this video, or you know, at least, you know, I don't know how you could really like this video, but you know, like, subscribe, share, you know, try to get the word out there and just make people think a little bit harder about, you know, these situations. And yeah, anyway, feel free to comment below. I always read all the comments. Also, you can send me an email at finchresources@gmail.com. Finch, like the bird, that's my last name. And you can also get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram. I do a little bit more with Facebook. So yeah, Trucking Resources on Facebook and Instagram. And also, we have a website. It's finchresources.com, and we have quite a few different products that help truck drivers out, and we got some swag too, some hats and stuff. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.